All right, the Vipers will start off on defense as the Waukesha Raiders will start as 1st and 10 coming out of their 30-yard line. As they come in the shotgun position, they have a slot receiver. And there's a little delay on the field as they're waiting for the game to start. The Chicago Vipers are on defense with a record of 7-3 as they're playing the Waukesha Raiders 7-3. This game will take them to the next round of the playoffs, and they'll be playing the winner today that beat the Zion Atomic Swarm, the Chicago Chaos.
Yeah. Chaos put on a heck of a performance not too long ago in the first game as well.
Yeah, as it goes to the snap, he calls hike, he gets the ball, he bombs it down the sideline, and number 23 for the Vipers is there to break it up. Albert Green with a terrific play.
Yeah, I was
There's a flag on the play,
looking at Albert Green earlier on. He had this game look on his face, and he was just ready to go for it tonight. And you know what?
But all right, as it goes into 2nd down, there's confusion on the field right now as the referees are looking around to see what's going on. We don't really know what's going on as the game just started. We're here live. It's 45-minute halves, and we're sitting here in Melrose Park at Ralph Babe Serpico Memorial Field for the 2nd game today of the playoffs, as it is the Chicago Vipers playing the Waukesha Raiders. They met each other earlier this season, and the Vipers were victorious in that game, as they came off of a win last week as they beat the Racing Gladiators 27-8.
Yeah, they had a dominant performance last week up in Waukegan, and they're looking obviously forward to trying to bring that momentum over to here. As it's a new set of downs for the Raiders in Viper territory at the 42-yard line.
Yes, it was a pass interference on the defense.
Pass interference, okay.
That's what the flag was on. So the Raiders get the ball at the Vipers' 44-yard line as they're going west to east. I apologize. As there's 43 minutes, he calls hike. He hands the ball off. He fakes it. It's an option to the quarterback. Keeps it. Number 16 for the Raiders. Ryan Semler, number 15, I apologize. Ryan Semler gets the ball, and he gets a gain of 3 yards.
Yeah, Ryan, a little bit of background on the Raiders quarterback, Ryan Semler, 6'3", 215 pounds with 3 years of semi-pro experience. As it's going to be 2nd down and about 4 now with 42:56 and counting to go here in this first half.
All right, they come out of the shotgun. They're in the shotgun formation with, I would like to say, a split receiver to the left. The halfback's to the left side of Semler as he gets the snap. He fakes the handoff to the man in motion, keeps the ball again as he fumbles and puts the ball on the ground, and it's cleaned up by number 12, Frederick Cornely for the Vipers. Stops them in their tracks as the fumble goes, and Alan Morris saved the fumble and a return and touchdown, really.
Yeah, it could have been a return. Jay Fortuna was out there on defense. He really wanted that one to be turned over in possession going to the Vipers, but you know, like you mentioned, it's going to be a dogfight out there, and you know, we're really looking forward to figuring out, you know, what's going on, and it's a back loss of about 3-4 yards, so it's going to be a long 3rd down for the Raiders to convert.
All right, as they lose a couple yards, it's going to be 3rd down and 9 as they're at the 41-yard line of the Vipers, as the Vipers has no halfback, and there's a false start on the play as the refs throw the flag. Back him up another 5 yards. So we have 2 early penalties going on in the beginning of this game, and there's only 4 minutes played into the game. Better, guys. All right, my sound's a little bit better. Sorry if you guys are misunderstanding at home.
As we're going to have an illegal formation called against the Raiders, so that's going to be another loss of 5 yards. So that's going to really bring them back into almost midfield, if you will. And it's going to be about a 3rd down and 13 to go at about the 46-yard line of the Vipers. So a long conversion here for the Raiders coming up.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's going to be 3rd down and long as if Semler comes out of the shotgun formation, 4 receivers. No halfback as he pump fakes. He gets a snap. He lobs it up. Throws it up there, and it was uncatchable.
They're going to get Cornely on the defensive pass interference.
That's a horrible call. It was uncatchable.
I think the only thing they're going to get him on is the fact that he didn't turn his head around looking for the football and trying to make a play on the ball. I don't know about that call, John. I don't know about it.
No, that was a horrible call, but the play was great that the quarterback threw the ball up, and he was aware that the defensive back had his head not turn to the ball like you previously stated. And it's going to get them a fresh set of downs as they move the ball all the way up to the 13-yard line.
That's a bad call.
Yeah, that was
easy as that. That's a bad call.
It was an uncatchable ball. I agree with you there.
It was. I don't even think there was much contact there when I was watching the play on the far sideline where it took place. Not much contact, if any, and I think that one the whistle should have been swallowed on that one, if you will.
I agree. I'm John Stevens calling the game with Ryan Fay. We have Brian Storm on the camera today.
Yeah, doing a terrific job all season long. He brings it over to the postseason as well. So we appreciate Brian's hard work and tremendous talent he brings to our broadcast. And John Stevens, you as well. Always appreciate working with you here on the broadcast as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
As always. We got a little bit of a late start here. The first game of our doubleheader that took place at Babe Serpico Memorial Field, it was the Chaos taking on the Swarm. And the Chaos will move on to the conference championship game, and they'll take on the winner of the Vipers and the Swarm. The Chaos have beaten the Vipers twice this season, so if the Vipers do get the victory tonight, they don't have an easy road ahead of them.
No, they do not. And the temporary delay on the field was the coaches were arguing with the refs about the previous pass interference
I don't
call.
blame them.
Raiders coming out of shotgun, knowing in a halfback. Semler keeps the ball, but he's tackled immediately by number 44 of the Vipers.
That's Greg Silsby providing some big work through the defensive line there. He's been kind of quiet the past couple weeks. He's been really good on home field, actually. Something that maybe just he likes the environment here at Melrose Park at Babe Serpico. But nonetheless, Greg Silsby performs a lot better here at Serpico Memorial Field, and it just showed there on that play.
Yes, it takes the Raiders to a second down, and they lost a 2, so it would be 2nd and 12 with 39 minutes left in the first half as they come out, as Ryan Semler leads the Raiders out of the huddle. They have a shotgun wide receiver in the slot with a halfback to the left. As the snap comes, he hands it off to number 4. Number 4 breaks up the middle, Alan Morris. He dodges a couple tackles, and he gets down. Is it a first down?
I believe they're going to, it's going to be 1st and goal at about the 3-yard line.
What a juke move he made after he received the handoff.
Yep, Alan Morris, the 5'6", 165-pound running back in his 3rd year of semi-pro football experience. As the play goes on, and it's a quick score for the Raiders just like that. Morris got the handoff again and ran it in for 6, so it's a 6-0 Raiders lead. So Alan Morris gets the first 6 points of the ball game in the first round of the Gridiron Football League playoffs in the National Conference Division. So the Vipers will have some work to do here, John, as we have 38-20 to go here in this first half.
Yes, they do. Their first offensive drive looked pretty good for the Raiders. The Raiders definitely just rushed the ball. There's 2 big penalties that took them down the field. One of the penalties that could have been very questionable with that pass interference. The ball was definitely uncatchable from our point of view. Yeah. But the thing is they capitalized, and right now they're winning 6-0 as they attempt the extra point.
Yep. Kicker Alex Bolsel will be on the attempt here to kick the extra point for the Raiders.
The snap and the kick is up, and it is good. No, it is
good. He pushed it to the right there. I kind of – it didn't look good at first because usually they have the net that holds, next to the goalpost. So we would have saw it bounce back, but it did not bounce back. He just pushed it a little right. So maybe a little bit of a break for the Vipers as Noel Rivera and the offense get back out there. And this time, John, he has got his weapons ready to go. The only weapons that are not here, Tommy Watt, is Eli Williams, but the returning Josh Hampton is back for the Vipers, and that is going to be huge for Noel Rivera.
Yes, it is. He's going to be it's always a good bonus to have him in the backfield because he will make some moves and make a definite improvement.
Vipers have missed Josh Hampton the past couple weeks.
All right, as the Vipers get the ball at their 30, they're going to be going east to west, right to left in your TV screens, ladies and gentlemen. Rivera takes him out of the huddle. He's going to have
Hampton in the backfield with him since Eli is not here tonight. So look for Hampton to get some snaps at the halfback position along with Jamie Wyatt tonight too.
And Joey Brutz gets it in the slot as they call hike. They give it to Hampton, a draw play right up the middle.
Oh.
He misses 3 castles. He comes around, swings it outside to the left side. He cuts it back in, and he's taken down at the 49-yard line.
Oh, beautiful. Attaboy, Josh.
Josh Hamilton right there is the reason why this team, and he's one of the leading rushers on this team with yards.
He's one of the leading rushers in the Gridiron Football League in general. He's one of the quickest athletic players in the Gridiron Football League to date. And Josh Hampton has been a tremendous asset for the Vipers all season long. They are happy to have him back on their side tonight here in the first round of the playoffs.
All right, as Rivera takes their team out of the huddle, They come out of the same formation, shotgun with the halfback to the left side of them. As the Raiders have 6 people in the box looking for the run. They get the ball, same play, draw right up to Hampton.
Oh.
Hampton makes his breakout move at the 45. He gets down to the 40 of a gain of 11 yards.
He just did another ankle breaker there for a gain of 11, and he's a big wow factor in this game. Every time he gets the ball, John, you have to keep an eye out for him as he's going to take a breather on the sidelines. Right now,
like he makes it look so easy. As he gets to the line of scrimmage, he takes that big hop step, and then all of a sudden he just explodes. And these Raiders defense, they're going to have their hands full. It's going to be 1st and 10 coming out of the 39-yard line in Raider territory as this drive looks promising. Rivera as Hampton's on the sideline for this play.
And he's got Joey Bruskus in the backfield with him now.
As they come out of the 3 slot, Fortuna's in the slot, and then Rivera keeps it as he sweeps to the right. And as he goes to the right, picks up 10, 15 yards before he runs out of bounds, before he even get touched. But what a heads-up play, way to play, busted down, and he just busted it to the right, and he gained 15 yards. They move the chains. 3 consecutive plays by the Chicago Vipers have gained over 10 yards, and that 4th play, so going to be 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line or 19-yard line.
And this is the start that the Vipers have needed offensively. And they have sometimes, at times during the season, struggled to get an offensive rhythm going early on in games. And as you just mentioned, John, 3 first plays on offense in a game, 3 first downs just like that, and they are running into Raider territory right now inside the 25-yard line.
Yes, Rivera's in there. Hampton's still out. Joey Bruskus is in the backfield with him. As the snap comes, Rivera steps back. Bruskus picks up the blitz. Rivera launches the ball. Number 72, James Flynn, tight end, overthrown as it was a corner route to the far back corner of the touchdown.
Yep. J.C. Flynn has been a big target the last couple weeks with some of the guys not being available for the last couple games. Coming into this, J.C. Flynn measures at 6'6", 270 pounds.
That's a big boy for a tight end.
That's a
good
big
target.
guy.
As he gets back to the huddle, the Raiders were showing blitz. What a great pickup where Rivera would have gotten smoked by Joey Bruskus.
Another thing to keep in mind is, John,
if I pronounced your name wrong, I apologize.
Johnny, you mentioned this before the game as well, that the Raiders are actually missing half their team here tonight.
Yes, they are. They went over there for an interview before the game started, 10 minutes before, and their coach and their captain was not really too happy with the showing.
I would be. A
lot of these guys are going to be playing both ways tonight, and it's going to be a physical, tough game because we are here at Ralph Babe Serpico Field. As Rivera gets the snap in this play, and as he launches it down the middle, right back to Flynn over the head again, wide open.
And it's overthrowing him.
Yeah. He has to put a little bit better touch on that ball, and it's going to be a touchdown play. They have the right idea. The Raiders' defense is playing run. Even though Hampton is out, it seems like, is Hampton hurt?
Hampton, I don't know.
He played the first 2 plays, and he hasn't been in since.
Good question. Maybe I don't know if he had maybe a little stiffness as he came off with the 3rd play earlier on. Jay Fortuna now out there on offense. Noel Rivera still is the quarterback. Fortuna will be lining up as a lineman right now.
Yeah, he's going to be I think he's going to be like the tight end, to be honest with you. All right.
Look for Stan White on this play here, John. He's usually a 3rd down guy to go to here.
This is Camp is in the slot as Rivera looks at Camp. He fades away as he rolls out to the right. The blitz is on. The Raiders miss 4 blocks. Rivera goes right up the middle, and he gains about 15 yards before he's tackled from behind. He gets the ball at the 10-yard line. It's going to be 9-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Raiders. For the Vipers. I apologize. What a play by the heads-up quarterback Rivera to see that nothing was going on downfield, and he just took the open field and took advantage of it and gained a big gain and gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, but it's going to be 1st and goal now, right at about the 5-yard line.
5-yard line. I thought it was 9 from my angle. All right, they're in a little bit of hurry off offense.
They have them placed at the 7-yard line, to be exact.
7. All right, Camp's in the slot. They got Fortuna still at the tight end position.
Joey Bruskus in the backfield too.
Rivera gets it. They fake the handoff. Rivera rolls out to the left on a sweep. The Raiders are not falling for this one. There's going to be a gain of maybe a yard or 2.
No, he got a good 3-4 yards off of that, actually. He kind of did a late dive at the last second towards the out-of-bounds mark on the near side here on the Vipers sideline. He's going to be marked at about the 3-yard line, so it's about a 4-yard gain, actually. So
from that angle you have is a lot better than mine because it looked like he had nothing.
Happy to help as always, John Stevens. You know that.
There's 31 minutes left in this first half as the Vipers are putting a drive together. This is the 7th play of their drive, or 8th play of their drive.
Yep, and they're still down 6-0 to the Waukesha Raiders.
Yes. The 2nd down, no halfback in the backfield. Rivera's by himself.
Yeah, T.J. Storino now in motion.
The snap. The cornerback blitz comes. Rivera beats it. steps up in the pocket, throws controllably over center, and touchdown for Camp. Camp wide open in the back of the touchdown, gets his first touchdown of the day. He's going to be a big-time target for Rivera, and this Raiders defense better pay attention to him at all times because he could have a very big day, and he's capable of doing it at any time.
Well, we saw Joel Camp a couple weeks ago in their last home game have a big impact against the Swarm the last time the Vipers were at home, and he's been a big go-to target the last couple weeks with some of the guys not being available to play, and why not keep going to him? You got the hot hand with him. Why not keep riding with him? That's all I got to say.
I was talking to their coach, Fortuna, before the game, and I was telling them from the game we saw 2 weeks ago how they had trips and they kept running the under route and how it was successful. And they said they're going to stick with it. They're going to try to stay with him, and they're going to throw the ball to him as much as they can because he is a big-time player.
There's no way you can blame him for doing that. I mean, it's been working so far here on that first offensive drive as Zach Criswell is out to kick the extra point. As that one's up and good.
It is good. It's going to be 7-6.
Yep, 7-6 with 30 minutes and 10 seconds and counting to go. Glad you're with us here at your home for Chicago Vipers football, SportsTownChicago.com. Ryan Fahey, John Stevens on the broadcast. Brian Sturm doing a terrific job filming as always. Brian Sturm actually helped in on the broadcast in the final regular season game, might I add.
I couldn't make it. I had to go to work. I listened to you guys.
It's all right. You know what? It wasn't the same with Brian there. I mean, John Stevens, there's no replacing you, man.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Both of these teams come out with a lot of energy. They both get touchdowns on their first drive.
Well, you mentioned
the Vipers are winning 7-6.
You say both teams come out with a lot of energy. Raiders are missing half the team tonight. How much energy are they going to have in the tank? How much do they preserve in the first half is a question. Because maybe you'd want to save it for the second half.
I think that first drive was written on most of emotions. They get the fire up, but I think fatigue will take place later in the half, or even this game is as physical as this game is going to be. Semler gets the snap. He hands it off to number, I would like to say 4, Alan Morris. As he sweeps him to the left, he gets a gain of about 5 yards.
Yeah, we're seeing Alan Morris become the workhorse of the running back position for the Raiders tonight. He's gotten all 5 of the handoffs that the Raiders have had offensively. As it's going to be second down and about 4 to go on the Raider 36-yard line with 28:45 and counting to go in the first half.
Semler leads the Raiders out of the huddle.
We'll explain the rules of gridiron football in just a second for those just tuning in for the first time.
He has 3 receivers, 1 in the slot. Number 24, Monty Cooper's in the slot as he is. Number 4, Alan Morris to the left side as the snap comes to him. It's a fumble snap. He picks the ball up on one bounce, but before he could do anything with it, number 44 for the Chicago Vipers is right there to make the stop. Greg Silsby, once again, his second tackle of the day for a heads-up nose tackle.
Yep, and Vince Nickeline also involved on that play as well. And since we do have a moment, get a quick idea of the Gridiron Football League. 9-on-9 football, 45-minute halves. At the 3-minute mark, they will play the clock like NFL rules in each half. It is a running clock until that 3-minute mark that I just mentioned. Fourth downs is the quote-unquote punt. If you give up possession on fourth down, you do the punt without the actual punting, if you will.
Yes. All right, thank you for those rules so quick. With 27 minutes left, they come out with 3
We're still learning
receivers.
even though it's the playoffs, aren't we?
Semler just gives Morris a little touch. He goes to the right, fakes the handoff. He has all the time in the world as the pressure comes.
Why isn't Nickley going? Oh!
As Semler breaks out to the left, he takes on a tackler, number 00.
That's
Drew Jones drops him after a gain of 9 yards.
Drew Jones did not want to get his ankles broken on that play. He stayed at home, but the question is on where the spot is going to be, and they're going to spot him a yard short. So it's going to be fourth down and a yard to go. So this will be very interesting to see what the Raiders are going to do here.
It's going to be 4th and goal. That was a big play by Semler. It's a good thing that Drew Jones stayed home and he didn't overcommit. You're right, like you said, because he already broke about 2 tackles before he got to him. They got to stay contained.
Yeah, Vince Nickley, as we mentioned how Ryan Semler, the quarterback, was kind of just staying at home in the pocket. Nickley had a clean shot at him, but he kind of stayed back. A little conservative mind defensively here. Maybe just, again, we saw it in the Chaos Swarm game before we got on the broadcast here. No team wants to make that big mistake early. As we got a bunch formation here, as Semler and the I formation all alone, though. As
he's standing under the center. There's no one in the backfield. It looks like he's going to do a quarterback dive, and that's exactly what he does.
Yeah, I don't know if he got it. That's going to be close. He was right there, but I don't know. The fans are saying he's short. The Vipers are saying he's short.
But
he might need a measurement. They're going to say he got it, though.
That was.
But the Vipers might request a measurement Jay Fortuna's out there asking about it, and they're going to say it's a new set of downs. He just got it by the nose of the football, so it's going to be first down.
Tough running right there, and he could have gone other way. If there's instant replay, I'm sure they'd be throwing the flag right now.
Yeah, well, maybe they can use Brian Sturm's camera here. And
as he's shaking his head, no way. As it comes out to be, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 40. They're still in their zone as they get to the snap. As they come out of the huddle. Semler in the shotgun formation with Allen lining up to his right. They have 3 receivers. At the top of your screen's the slot. Semler gets the snap. He looks to his right, pump fakes as they do a little screen to Allen right in the middle of the field. They drop it off to him as he tries to take off, but he's caught from behind. Number 99 for the Vipers. I don't have a name for number 99 on the roster. Did you get anybody for 99?
I believe I will get to number 99 in just a second.
We'll check it for you listeners at home. We apologize, but there was a gain of 9 yards by Allen off a sweet little play from a drop pass screen right over the middle, and it's going to be 2nd and 1. As Semler takes the Raiders out of the huddle, there's going to be 3 receivers, 2 to the top, 1 in the slot, as Allen's on the left side of the quarterback. Semler gives him a little touch as the snap comes to him. He hands it off to him as he sweeps to the right. He cuts it back up the middle, and he's met by about 7 or 8 Vipers. He's probably going to get the first down from forward momentum as he's pushed back, and he's going to get it. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 49-yard line as they've crossed the half-field mark into Viper territory, and they're starting to make a little drive of themselves, and it's all because of number 4, Allen Morris.
Yeah,
it's his
Allen
9th
Morris,
touch already.
As we mentioned how half the team is only here for the Raiders here tonight, a lot of guys are going to be obviously playing offensively and defensively. Allen Morris is getting the workhorse load, if you will, offensively with running the football. And you hear the old saying, stay committed to the ground game, running the football, get those tough, gritty yards. It's been working here for the Raiders so far.
Don't change what works. As they come out of the shotgun, they have 3 receivers, 1 at the top of the slot screen. Allen's to the left. It's a bad snap. Semler keeps it and makes something of it. As he goes and he gets stopped and jacked at about
the 44-yard line of the Vipers.
The ball came out, but he's already down.
Yep.
Shane Voigt laid a licking on him. The free safety came up and really stopped him in his tracks. He gets a gain of about 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 5 at the 44-yard line of the Vipers as the Raiders are starting to put a well drive together. Here we go.
Yeah, Drew Jones also in on that play as well. So we saw a couple weeks ago, maybe sometimes Drew Jones didn't make an impact in the first half of games. He's doing that now.
Yes. The workhorse Allen for this team is really doing all the damage, and if it's a busted down play, Semler's really knowing where to pick up his extra yards and make something of nothing. As they come out of the huddle again, they're going to do 3 receivers, 1 in the slot at the bottom of the screen. Actually, they go 4 receivers now. And then the Hail Mary, no one in the backfield with Semler. He's all by himself. He gets the snap.
The pressure was coming through. And that goes nowhere.
He airs it out all the way down the field. It was an incomplete pass. No one around for at least about 4 or 5 yards.
Pass was intended to number 24, Monty Cooper, the 5'9", listed here as a defensive back, 165 pounds in his first year of semi-pro football. But as we mentioned, half the team for the Raiders are not here tonight, so a lot of guys playing who usually would maybe just play the defensive snaps are going to have to play offensive snaps because of all the absences for the Raiders.
Correct. That defensive play by Tanez forced Semler to throw the ball a little bit sooner than he wanted to as he came off the end. And it's going to lead to a 3rd down and 5 at the 44-yard line of the Vipers. As Semler is huddled up trying to figure out what play they're going to do next, the Raiders are on a drive right now. They picked up 2 first downs. This is a big stop right here as 3rd down approaches for the Vipers.
Yeah, big 3rd down here coming up for the Vipers. Jay Fortuna now going to be lining up as a defensive lineman right now.
Put some fresh legs on that defensive line as they come out of the huddle. Allen's to the right. No, not Allen. It's McGrath. Or Monty Cooper is in the backfield. I apologize.
Yeah, Cooper was the one who just missed out on that incompletion just a play ago.
And he moves to the left at the top of the screen. So now they have trips on the top of the screen here. Semler's alone in the backfield. He gets the snap. He looks down the field with a single receiver. He pump fakes it over.
Oh! Why? I don't know. I don't understand why he turned around. If he would have kept it in stride, he would have caught that for 6.
Yeah, he had the safety bite on the receiver down low, and it opened up the center of the field, and the receiver was wide open and drops it.
He turned around a little too quickly.
He turned the wrong direction, and he's blaming
here's the thing. I don't even think he needed to turn around. If he would have kept his stride going, I think he would have easily caught it in his breadbasket, that being his chest area. That would have been 6 points for the Raiders. A big miss there for the Raiders, and a good one that goes in favor of the Vipers. as it's going to be 4th down and 5 now on the Viper 44. Raiders will need to get to the 39 to convert. So a big 5 yards here for the the Raiders to convert on. And they're going to stay out here and play for it, too.
Yep, it's going to be 4th and 5, like Ryan said. I'm John Stevens. Ryan.
What's up?
We're sitting here from Memorial Field. Serpico Memorial Field. It's 4th down.
Same formation here. Trips out to the left again on the far side.
And the flag's on a player.
No flags. They just whistled timeout Raiders. They didn't like what they were seeing from the Vipers defensively, so they decided to take the timeout. So actually the timeout's going to be on the Vipers. I apologize. They originally said it was the Raiders, but the Vipers actually called the timeout. So Jay and the defense did not like what they were seeing.
I don't think they had the right personnel on the field to stop this 4th down play or the way they lined up. Like you said, they had a previous play en route. They had trips to the top, and I think they were unevenly matched.
Yeah, they just a little confusion on the side of the Vipers, too. I mean, it seems like both sides weren't necessarily as ready to go with it. But as we just, saw, Vipers call a quick timeout with 20 minutes, 39 seconds to go, 7-6 in favor of your Chicago Vipers on your home for the Vipers. Ryan Fahey, John Stevens with you here at SportsTownChicago.com. Also want to thank our terrific cameraman, Brian Sturm, doing a tremendous job, as always. And a little reunion took place for me tonight. Some of the coaches and photographers, and we're here from the Chicago Blitz, a team who we also cover for the Continental Indoor Football League. They're here on hand watching some Gridiron Football League action tonight, so it was a nice little reunion for myself to meet up with some old colleagues, if you will, and I'm proud to say new friends.
The winner of this game will be playing them next week in the playoffs.
That being the Chaos, you mean, not the Blitz.
The Chaos, I'm sorry.
Blitz are out here actually. Blitz are out here actually scouting tonight.
They better be. There's some good teams. Semler comes out and is no halfback in the back. He's by himself. He throws the ball over as the flag's on a play. Allen catches the ball.
Shane Voigt on the tackle, but I don't think it's going to matter. Looks like it's going to be. They're going to have the clock stop. They're going to say they're bringing back the chains for a second. The catch was made there by Alan Morris. He's slow to get up though.
That would be a huge, huge loss.
The flag was back at the 50-yard line. We'll get the call in just a second. So I don't know what we're going to have here per se. It looks like it's going to be a holding against the Raiders. So that's going to back them up 5 yards.
So now it's going to be 4th and 15. What would you do here, Ryan? They better punt, but they look like they're going to be playing.
I think in a case where you have so many X amount of players available for tonight's game, you need to take as many opportunities in front as you have right now. And obviously, Raiders, 4th and 15, they need to get to the Viper 39 to convert this. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of play call is going to be determined here by quarterback Ryan Semler. Does he go to Alan Morris? Does he go to his deep man in Monty Cooper? A lot of options here for Semler, but he's got a lot of yards to try to earn, though, to get it.
Yes, he does. He has 15 yards to get to the first down as the ball spotted on their own turf now as they go backwards. It's going to be on the 46-yard line. It's going to be 4th and 15. Fortuna on the defensive side is calling the shots as they line trips to the top.
I am surprised the secondary is not staying more back on this, though.
Cooper's in motion. They fake the handoff. Semler breaks the first tackle.
Silsby almost had him.
And he's running around freely behind him as he lobs the ball to Cooper. It's over his head. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
Wow, and Semler could have been sacked 3 times beforehand. And not to mention that it was just a broken down play for the Raiders. So it's a turnover on downs. The Vipers take over, and they're going to take over in Raiders territory at the Waukesha Raider 46-yard line with the Vipers trying to add on to their 1-point lead. As we have 18:36 to go here left in this first half.
We'll have the ball on the 46-yard line in Raider territory, so that's good ball field position, good defense to stand by the Vipers. And a dumb holding penalty really costed the short-handed
it was
Raiders.
a bad penalty, for sure, to say the least. And it just was a broken down play on that last 4th down. But now the Wall Rivera and the offense, they're licking their chops that they have some great fielding position to work with.
Well, it gets the snap, and he hands it off. Hampton's back in, and he breaks off to the left.
Uh-oh.
So far, he cuts it back in.
Oh!
And he just runs, and he cuts it in, and he gets a...
Wow. But we have an official down on the play, though. There's an injury. We have an official down as the clock will be stopped at 17:46 as on the play, an official was knocked down on the near sideline here.
He got laid out.
Yeah, he just we saw that in the game with the Swarm and the Chaos. An official was knocked over on a play. It happens again here tonight. He's getting up on his own power, which is a good thing. Nonetheless, though, as we were distracted by that, Josh Hampton did end up scoring, so it's a touchdown for the Vipers.
Yes, it
it's
is.
13-6.
What a run. He started off on a sweep to the left, and he cut back inside. As he came back inside, all the Vipers' offense was just picking up blocks, and it became a 46-yard touchdown round as they take the lead 13-6 as that field goal unit comes out.
So Zach Criswell will come out to kick the extra point. A lot of action going on here in that first half.
On that play.
So as we have 17:46 stopped on the clock here left to go in this first half, Zach Criswell will come out and kick for the extra point and try to make this a 8-point lead for the Vipers.
All right. To snap the point, it is blocked.
So it will stay 13-6. Clock will now run once again. So the Vipers, in quick fashion, and John, I mentioned it beforehand, how much of a factor was Josh Hampton going to be tonight?
And he's
been a huge one here so far. Every time he touches the ball,
it's either a first down or a touchdown.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd love to have that guy on my team if I was coaching one. So as we have 17.
Thank you, Brian, as you just fixed my headset as we replaced it. I appreciate your help.
Brian Sturm just does it all.
He is. He's Mr. Universal.
He does it all. He is, yeah, as you mentioned, Mr. Universal here. So even got us a photo of me on Instagram that I'm going to have to check out later.
He's our update guy.
There we go.
All right. As the Raiders huddle on the side of the field right now as they're regaming their plan on trying to figure out what they could do as they are short-handed tonight. Half of their team didn't show up. But the Vipers are not letting that be a factor. They're going to keep pouring it on as it shows. They're ready. Their defense is in their set position waiting for the Raiders to take the field as they come out right now. The Raiders' number one guy so far, that's their number one offense, is Alan Morris and Semler. It's only two things. None of the receivers have done anything except for getting pass interference flags called. That's about it.
The question I have with it is this, though. Now that the Vipers just scored another touchdown, it's 13-6, still a one-possession game, obviously. But does the energy start to dwindle if you're the Raiders now?
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully this game stays a good game because these guys are two good teams, and they deserve to have – it's just a bummer that scheduling had a problem with them only getting half their team out. Summer gets a snap. He drops it, but he gets right back in his hands like a basketball. He airs it out, and it's going to be –
Oh! Shane Voigt ran into his own guy, and he dropped the interception. Shane Voigt, he ran – wow.
Yeah, he can't do that.
Easy. That could have been a pick six for all the room Shane Voigt had.
I don't have a name for number 71, but he's the one who ran into him. Shane Voigt was right by himself. 71 ran into Shane Voigt.
You can't get that any better.
Shane Voigt got ran into. He had the ball, and 71 ran into him.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication there, just by a smidge. Oh, wow. So that was a big miss there for the Vipers.
All right, it's second down and 10. The Raiders come out. There's going to be three receivers, two to the top. You're going to have Alan Morris on the left side of Semler. Semler gets the snap as it's hot, hands it off as a draw. Allen makes the first two guys miss, breaks to the left. There's a flag on the play, and he's still up breaking ankles, and he's taken down for a yard.
Yeah, I don't even know if he got anything on there, but it's going to be a holding against the Raiders, so back him up more yards. So everything seems to be going the Vipers' way so far here in this first half.
Yes, it does. It does seem to. All these stupid penalties, and this team, like we've been talking many times already, fatigue is going to play a factor, and penalties are just going to kill them. They cannot have that
penalties
happen.
Have been crucial here as it's going to be a third down now for the Raiders coming up. So you think that, as you mentioned, that, you know, dumb penalties are just going to – they come back to bite you. So it's going to be third down and 10. They take the loss of down with 14:19 to go here in this first half. Bobbled snap once again. The pressure comes at him, and it's going to be a sack for the Vipers. Getting that sack is Nathan Rivera, Noel's brother. So a big loss there. It's a loss of down, a loss of yards. Vipers defense, they are just taking over, if you will.
They came ready to play today, and they showed up.
They're showing up in a big way, and they want that rematch with the Chaos for the third time in their season. They've lost the previous two. They saw the Chaos take charge over the Swarm, in the first game that was held here at Baby Serpico Memorial Field to advance to the National Conference Championship game, Chaos and the Vipers met in the Gridiron Football League Championship game last season, and now these teams would meet up at the Conference Championship game. It's a rivalry that's brewing and building in the making, and if the result stays, Vipers Chaos for the National Conference Championship, that's going to be a game for the ages.
Yes, it will. It'll be a great game and a great anticipated game, but they got to win this game first. There's still a lot of time left, even though it's in their favor right now. It's going to be 1st and 10 as the Raiders elected to punt, but in this game in gridiron football, there's no punting. It's a $30. It's a $30. It's a 30-yard.
$30.
It's a $30.
Giving away $30. You can hand it up here.
A 30-yard difference. Now Rivera comes out leading the Vipers.
Look for Stan White on this play. Hasn't really looked his way yet. Look for Stan White maybe to look for a play here.
They have 3 receivers. He gets the snap, hands off to Hampton again. Hampton
just
falls down from his own.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go. He should have just took it down to begin with. Hampton had nowhere to run. That's a big loss. That's a loss of about 7 yards on the play. So it's going to be second and 18 for the Vipers.
Yes, that was a big play. He
Ooh.
backpedaled, he slipped, he fell as he was going to try to make a juke move, but 2 of the defensive tackles were right there and they got him. So it's going to be 2nd and 18 as Rivera is in the huddle right now.
A lot of room to work with now if you're the Vipers. Bad play there by Hampton, visibly frustrated after that one. Stays in the game as in the running back position. Joey Bruscus in the slot to the left of Rivera.
Rivera comes out of the huddle as he gets the snap.
Jay Fortuna now is a wide receiver on the far side too.
He fakes the handoff to Hampton, keeps it. Nowhere to go as the Raiders are right there to hold on to him and back him up. He breaks 1 tackle, but there's still nowhere to go. Another loss of probably about 4 more yards.
Yep, Tim Bauer will now check into the game for the Vipers.
So it seems like in this drive for the Raiders and last drive for the Raiders and this drive for the Vipers, they just want to go backwards on this play.
Yeah, I just think it's not necessarily been bad play calling. It's just a matter of it's just not getting done off the snap. I don't know if it's something that on that
the efficiency
play, yeah.
They got to be more solid and more consistent.
Yeah, I don't know if it was something Noel Rivera just saw that he didn't like as the snap was taken. Seemed like it was going to be a quarterback option, a read option there. It didn't work out, and it's a 3rd down and a zip code to go.
About 20 yards to go.
A good 20 yards, if anything.
25 yards
25,
to be exact.
Wow.
3rd and 25 as they come out with the slot receiver down on the left side of the screen. Hampton's to the left of Rivera as the snap comes. He fakes the handoff. He backpedals and shotgun. He airs it out as a corner route.
Look out.
Another 10. Catches the ball, but he is out of bounds.
And you would expect the Vipers to give
What
up
a catch by
possession on 4th
Storino,
down.
but Storino, once again, I said, was out of bounds, so it's going to be 4th down and 25. And these guys are going to give the ball back to the Raiders. What a great defensive stand, much needed for the Waukesha Raiders.
It's like you always want to put the Chris Berman-esque into that. The Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Waukesha Raiders.
As they elect a punt, the Raiders are going to get the ball at the 35-yard line.
Every time you say that now, I'm always going to think of Chris Berman. So
I'm not Chris Berman.
Thank you for that.
I'm John Stevens, and you are
Ryan Fahey.
There we go. And then the man in the middle, not Mo, not Larry,
not Joakim Noah,
but Brian Big Daddy Sturm.
Brian B.S. Sturm. He even claims that one's more accurate, so we'll go with that one, I guess, on that nickname.
All right, the Raiders come out of the huddle as they got 3 receivers, 2 at the top, 1 in the slot. You got number 4, their playmaker, Al Morris, on the right side as he gets the handoff right up the middle of the draw, makes the first 3 guys miss, makes Sean Voigt miss, and he gets a gain of about 9 yards before he's held and pushed back from forward momentum. It's going to be 2nd and 1 at the 44-yard line of Raider territory. That was a big play. It was their first play in the last 5 that went forward, Ryan.
Yeah, interesting. Travis Guy, the tight end, was lining up as the quarterback for the Raiders there. So maybe they're just trying to find some way to get guys breathing time, just some time to rest up in between plays, as Travis Guy is the new quarterback now for the Raiders. He's 6'4", 250 pounds.
As he gets the snap.
And there's a flag down, and it's going to be caught by Monty Cooper on the near side. A flag is down, though. It might come back for holding against the Raiders.
Stan White is the quarterback right now. I wonder why he's no, not Stan White. Travis Guy is the. I wonder if
They're just trying to give guys breathing time.
They
got
have
to get breathers in somehow.
Sumler.
And it's crazy because, half the team is not here. Ryan Sumler now back on the field. So we would imagine that he's going to get back to the quarterback duties. The holding is going to be against the Raiders, so that'll back him up. So get rid of that play that was caught by Monty Cooper. So that's going to back him up quite a bit. So Vipers get a break there. We have 8:20 to go here in this first half. Still 13-6.
It's going to be 2nd and 1 at the 39-yard line as the Raiders come out of the huddle. Sumler's back as a receiver.
Yeah, now Travis Guy still as quarterback.
As a quarterback.
Interesting mix-up.
They have Allen to the left. They're in the shotgun formation. Semmler's at the top of the screen, and there's a slot. Guy gets out. He does a little fake, a little juke. He rolls out to the right. He airs it out to number 20.
And no flag there called. Everybody was looking for a flag because everybody was assuming there was a flag going to happen. Nothing doing there. So the refs keep the flags tucked away, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 11 yards to go for the Raiders. 7:33 now and counting on the clock.
Yeah, you got a better angle on the clock. I might miss on that a little bit.
That's okay. I'm always here to help. Might not be able to help as well as Brian Sturm, our terrific cameraman, does, but I will do my best.
All right, as the Raiders get the ball back over that incomplete pass, it's going to be 3rd and 11 with 7 minutes and 15 seconds left in this first half.
You saw the clock fine. All right.
I know. I just looked down and realized that we have the thing here.
You do. You have it in front of you. I don't.
Yeah.
I have the big scoreboard outside here.
All right, Semmler's still as a receiver at the top of the screen as a guy gets the snap as no receivers, no halfbacks are behind him. Airs the ball out to nobody.
Look out there.
Just getting rid of it as a blitz by number 14 for the Vipers was right in the face of Miguel Tenuz. So it's going to be 4th down and 11, and the Raiders are going to punt.
A quote-unquote punt, if you will. They just give up possession on 4th down. It's like a punt, but without the actual play happening, just for all those new to the Gridiron Football League. Once we hit the 3-minute mark of this half, we play the clock like NFL rules, and we'll have a 5-minute halftime.
All right. Rivera leads the Vipers out on the field at the 36-yard line. As Fortuna's going in there, I'm assuming he's going in as a receiver or tight end position.
Yeah, you would think he's been helping out as a weapon so far. He's going to line up as a receiver to Rivera's left, as he's going to have Joey Bruskus in the backfield with Rivera.
Fortuna's at the bottom of your screen in the slot, standing next to Stan White at the bottom.
And that's coming back. That's a false start.
False start on the Vipers. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Back them up.
And it looks like they're going to get number 72 on that one for the Chicago Vipers. They're going to get that on J.C. Flynn, the tight end. So that'll back them up 5, 1st and 15 now.
You're listening to SportsTownChicago.com. I'm John Stevens alongside of Ryan Fahey. We're standing here at Ralph Babe Serpico Memorial Field with 5 minutes left in the first half as the Vipers are winning 13-6 as Rivera's in a huddle. They got the ball. It's going to be, 1st down and 15 from the 30-yard line?
From about the 31-yard line, we'll say.
They have 3 receivers. This time Fortuna's at the bottom, and number 82, Stan White's in the slot. Rivera, in shotgun, gets the snap. He looks to his left. He airs it out, going to left the whole time, and Stan White goes right through his hands.
That seemed like it just went. If it was overthrown, it was overthrown by a hair.
It wasn't overthrown. That ball was right in his hands. He should have made that catch. But number 24 for the Raiders is right there, Monty Cooper, to break up that play. Stan White's a little upset with himself as he comes to the sidelines on that play. It's going to be 2nd and 15 as the Vipers still have the ball at their 31-yard line. 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Once again, like we stated, once it gets under 3 minutes, NFL rules will apply with stoppage of the clock.
That includes incomplete passes, out-of-bounds plays, and timeouts and scoring plays.
What a beautiful day for football. Even though they called for rain, it hasn't shown up. Fortuna's in the slot receiver.
Knock on wood for that one, John Stevens.
Fortuna, as a pass is behind him, it looked like a misread.
That was supposed to go to Joel Camp. It appeared, and it went through his hands. Fortuna turns around a little too late, went through his hands, and the ball drops incomplete. So it's going to be 3rd down and 15 to go now for the Vipers.
Yeah, Fortuna looked behind him just a little too late as the ball wasn't supposed to be for him, but it was in his area where he could have possibly made a catch. If he would have made a catch, that would have been a web gem.
Oh, so we're pulling a little baseball reference into it. I like it.
All right.
Nothing wrong with a good old web gem.
It's going to be 3rd and 15 from the 30-yard line, 31-yard line as Rivera comes out of the shotgun formation. Most of these plays are from the shotgun position. They rarely ever stand underneath center, as it's more of a strategy for the quarterback with the draw option reads. Fortuna's in the slot as Camp's on the bottom.
Hampton not in this play right now as well, just so you know.
Rivera gets a snap as Camp comes on the undercut as he crosses the field at the 45-yard line.
Oh, he should have just kept going forward. He would have fell for the first.
I think
he's going to be short, though.
I think they got the first.
I don't know. I think he's going to be a hair short. If he didn't make the one move, he would have had the first down. Oh, wow. Oh, they're going to say it's first down.
They gave him the first.
Good. Benefit of the good.
That
was close, though. I mean, that was really close.
It's funny they did that play because they did the under route to Camp, and that's exactly the play I was talking about with Fortuna before this game started. It's a very successful play as they line up in shotgun again. Hampton's on the sideline. Fortuna's at slot.
The 3-minute rule is under effect as well, as we have 2:30 and counting.
Camp's at the bottom of your screen. False start on number 72 again for the Vipers.
J.C. Flynn, his second one. So that's going to back him up 5 after they get that first down conversion there.
Seems like these teams like playing with more than 10 yards on their first downs, you know? It's going to be 1st and 15 again for the 3rd or 4th time this game for both teams.
Yeah, clock has stopped with 2:24 to go. So we got a little bit of a late start here at Melrose Park. The swarming chaos went a little longer than usual, so that's why we started around 9:30.
It's a beautiful night for football right now as Rivera gets the snap. It is a second down. 1st and 15. He's scrambling in the middle of the pocket. He gets nowhere to go except for a bunch of Raiders to meet him back at the line of scrimmage. He might have lost 1 or 2 on the play. Coverage downfield was amazing. Yeah, couldn't get rid of the ball.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go with that one. And, you know, if he would have tried to throw it out of bounds, it would have been called for intentional grounding since he was still in the pocket. And the clock will stop for the 2-minute warning. Score is still 13-6 in favor of the Vipers.
The Vipers will be getting the ball at the 39-yard line, and it's going to be 2nd and 17, as it's a much-needed timeout for the Raiders as they are short-handed, like we've repeated ourselves many times in this broadcast.
Yeah, the Vipers have been picking up with the penalties too, and just some of the bad plays as well. As you mentioned,
gives them extra time to breathe.
It gives them extra time to breathe, and not to mention it gives the Raiders some kind of hope that they can make more stops. Just to try to stop the Vipers' offense, which with Josh Hampton in that fold has been very lethal.
Yes, he has. He's not been playing every down either. I don't know if he's hurt or if he's just coming back slowly. He's standing on the sidelines right now with his helmet off. It's 13-6 in the 2-minute warning, like you said. It's going to be 2nd and 17 as Rivera's in a huddle as they speak. The referee they got ran over earlier in the game seems to be doing all right as he's walking back to the sideline.
That's a good sign, too.
That is a good sign because he literally got ran over on that touchdown run.
We were looking as the play happened, and we saw the official fall, and everybody's attention turned to the ref while Josh Hampton scored that touchdown.
All right, Rivera comes out as a shotgun formation. Hampton's on the side. They have 2 receivers to the left. As they go in motion, Camp moves to the slot. They switch positions. Halfbacks to the left of Rivera. He gets a snap. He rolls out to the right. Immediately guns the pass.
And
Number Fortuna catches the ball as he gets to the 30-yard line and he gets pushed out of bounds as they try to attempt to strip. Everybody on the defense looked at Camp in the switcheroo at the bottom of the screen, and then it left Fortuna one-on-one coverage, and Rivera found it right away, connected, and they gain about 35 to 40 yards on the play. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the Raiders' 28-yard line. What a big play.
What a missed tackle there by Jay Fortuna as well, not to mention. He did run out of bounds there, so the clock stops at 1:52.
I was just going to say him running out of bounds was a heads-up play because it stops the clock, gives their time to give a little bit of time to regroup as they come out of the huddle. Joey Bruskis is the halfback next to Rivera as they come out of a 3-receiver. Bad snap high. Rivera gets it. Steps up in the pocket as he throws it. He gets stripped.
Oh, that's a fumble, and that's Raiders ball.
Quarterback Semler knocks the ball out.
And Rivera is hurt. He is holding his right arm, too. This might not be good. But he appears to be okay walking off on his own power. And it's officially Raiders football with 1:44 to go.
What a big turnover there for the Raiders to slow this offensive drive. It looked very promising for the Vipers, and they could have really put some more points on it before the half and really taken control of this game. What a big-time play by the quarterback / receiver / defensive back / everywhere, Ryan Semler. And they're gonna
in the everything position tonight, Ryan Semler.
Yeah, and they're gonna get the ball at the 28-yard line as the ball goes to the Raiders, and they have a minute and 44 seconds to possibly put some kind of points on the board. I believe they will get the ball in the second half. Am I correct, or is it the Vipers who won the toss in the beginning?
I believe the Vipers won the toss but deferred.
Yeah.
So they will get the ball to start the second half.
There was so much chaos in the beginning of the game from the first playoff game ending that we were in a rush with our broadcasting crew and the rush of this game that
they wanted to get on quickly.
They wanted to get it going because of the time. Semler is the quarterback, does a little screen, drops right off to Allen. Allen right up the middle, has his blockers, and he gains about.
He's going to be enough for the first down. Flags down. That might be a face mask, so that might be even more yards for the Raiders.
Is there a Vipers on the ground?
And there is a Raider down, and it looks like Monty Cooper is
it a Raider or a Viper?
It's a Raider. It's Monty Cooper, who is down on the far side. He is down in pain. Trainer will come out on the field as we now have a minute 33 to go here in this first half. And the Raiders cannot afford to lose any more players tonight.
Especially this guy. This guy broke up a big touchdown play earlier.
So they look at him, and looks like they're asking just for him to have some water, so maybe he just got the wind knocked out of him on that play. So while we do have a moment, Ryan Fahey, John Stevens, Brian Sturm on the camera work here for SportsTownChicago.com, your home for Chicago Vipers football. The winner of this game will take on the Chicago Chaos in the National Conference Championship game next week here at Babe Serpico Memorial Field. And the winner of that game will go on to the Gridiron Bowl. That'll take place in 2 weeks, as they're going to move the chains up off of that play to begin with before the injury took place. It was going to be a face mask call, as I referred to earlier. So, and Cooper is still down on the field, slow to get up. As I mentioned earlier, the Raiders cannot afford to lose any more players since they already are not having half their team here tonight based on absences.
Yeah, they cannot afford to lose any players. You're dead on with that, as these guys are waiting for Cooper to get up and walk it off.
Yeah.
Seems like he got his strength. Trainers and everyone's getting back to the regular positions.
He's walking off on his own power, which is a good thing. Looks like he's hobbling on his right leg, it appears, so hopefully he'll be able to return. But as we've been mentioning, John, they can't keep losing bodies.
No, if they lose any more bodies, they're going to be short players and possibly, I don't know what the rules are. What,
I don't think that's ever happened before.
I was going to say, I don't think, very uncommon. Maybe a couple players from the Vipers switch teams, who knows.
Brian Sturman goes out there and warms up for the Raiders, I don't know.
The secret weapon. He's like the refrigerator in Little Giants.
We wouldn't put Brian Sturm on waivers. We'd never do that. We'd ask for a sign-and-trade deal, if anything. We want good prospects and cash consideration in return.
We'll give him a max contract of $5 an hour. All right, as the Raiders get the ball at 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line, Brian Sturm gives me the look of all evil.
The death look, if you will.
Yeah.
Wow, Brian was not happy about that.
Semler, who causes the fumble, gets the snap as he passes it back to Allen as it bobbles in his hands, and he makes something of it in 3 great moves, and he gains about 20 yards on the play. He bobbled the ball as it was a screen pass right over the middle, and he takes it for 18 yards.
Yep, and the clock will continue to run with less than a minute 13 to go. Score still 13-6 in favor of the Vipers, but the Raiders are moving quickly here in Viper territory. They will get the chain marks set up, I should say, and they're going to have it set up at the Viper 30-yard line.
All right, Semler gets the ball as he comes out, and he hands it off right up. Oh, it's a fake handoff. He even faked everyone out.
He fooled me.
Yeah, quarterback keeper, but he's brought down for a gain of probably about 3 or 4 yards.
Clock's still running with less than 48 seconds.
Everybody assumed Alan Morris had the ball.
I thought Morris had the ball.
And they all piled on. Well, they're in a hurry-up offense. 2 receivers to the top, 1 in the bottom, 1 slot. Semler has Morris to the left of him. He gets the ball. He looks to the right. He goes back to the left as he tries to breaks the one tackle from Tanus or whatever. And he just throws the ball out of play because
Miguel Tanus had the sack there, too.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry about the pronunciation of the name. He had him wrapped up, and he just broke out of it. And instead of a big loss, he throws the ball away, stops the clock. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 at the 25-yard line of the Vipers. They need some points here. They got a big.
This is big here. I mean, 23 seconds is actually a lot in this position for the Raiders right now.
Yes, sir.
They have their timeout to work with. It's 3rd down and 5 now on the Viper 25. 23.6 seconds to go. If this play stays in bounds, I would think you'd have to call a timeout here and try to tie this game up before you go to the half.
Miguel Tanuz is all over the place. He's constantly pressuring him, but Semler is a big guy. Semler stands at about 6'3", 215 pounds, so a little tackle on ankles isn't going to grab him. You got to really lock this man up and bring him down hard.
He's a big guy.
Yes, he is. Reminds me of Mallett.
Ryan Mallett,
yeah.
the New England Patriot quarterback.
Wearing number 15 and everything, as tall as he is.
He's on red, white, and blue, though.
True. Semler gets a snap.
And Silsby's there to get him. And they want to say fumble, but they're going to say he was down, Ryan Semler. Clock will stop with 12.5 seconds to go. And it's going to be 4th down and a ways to go.
Semler gets off the ground very, very slow. He had nothing going on. They had trips to the left, and they had no blockers in the backfield, and the blitz brought it.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th down. 4th down and a ways to go, so you might want to expect the Hail Mary play here to take place for the Raiders. It's going to be about 4th down and 15.
This will probably be the last play of the first
Potentially. They need to get to the Viper 20-yard line to convert this. They're at the Viper 35 right now. 13-6 is score in favor of the Vipers. We'll have a 5-minute halftime in between each half, and we're about to hit that half here momentarily, pending these next couple plays, if there is more plays after this one.
Semler comes out of the huddle with no backfield, trips to the left. He has Alan Morris in his slot closest to the offensive lineman, the left tackle. He airs it on the opposite side of the field to Cooper. Cooper was hurt, drops the ball as he tries to come back.
Pass incomplete, 6.7 seconds still on the clock.
Cooper's limping from the injury he suffered about 4 plays ago. He's not completely healed, but like we said, they need every player they got.
Yep, and you would think that the Vipers here at this point, with just 6 seconds, they would just take a knee here and run out the clock. So we'll wait to see what Noel Rivera and the offense do. But as we are approaching halftime here, the score is 13-6 in favor of your Chicago Vipers in their first round here of the Gridiron Football League playoffs as they take on the Waukesha Raiders. The winner of this game will take on the Chicago Chaos in the National Conference Championship game. So if you think of this as a baseball playoff format, think of this as the NLDS. The winner will go on to the NLCS and then potentially World Series.
Good analogy there.
Thank you.
Letters, huh?
I know my baseball stuff, so.
Rivera takes the team. They're out there. The ball's at the 35-yard line.
I would imagine this just being
Take a knee.
I would imagine a knee is going to be taking place. I don't see why the need to go for the play here. You're 65 yards away as they're getting the ball.
Going for it. They're going
Ooh,
for
all right.
Halfbacks. They're going 4 receivers, 2 to the top of your screen, 2 to the bottom. You got Camp at the slot.
This is interesting.
Stand one at the bottom of your screen.
Almost a bad snap.
Rivera just is going to let it fly. No, he just dumps it off.
And that's going to end the half as number 90, Matt Camp, got the completion into Raider territory, but that is going to do it for the first half. So the Vipers escaped that previous possession there on that the drive for the Raiders as they were about to close in, but the Vipers defense holds well on 4th down, and the Vipers will hold the touchdown lead as we approach the half. There's 5 minutes in this half, and we'll take the halftime break as the Vipers have the 13-6 lead. They have 45 minutes to try to move on to the playoffs. Listen in for the next 45 minutes here on SportsTownChicago.com.